Coming up on this episode of DL Weekly, Magic Key holders get some treats each week in November. Deadpool is coming back for the holidays. Some attractions are returning.
Construction for Coco could be starting. A new pin for the key to Disneyland half marathon medals release. We talked to producers Vern and James about our trip and more. DL Weekly starts now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome aboard the DL Weekly podcast. Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding. If this is your first time listening, we hope you'll check out our website at DLWeekly.net. If you have more time to spend, becoming an official weekly tier at DLWeekly.net/support is an especially good value. Thanks for traveling with us today, and we hope you have a happy and memorable listen to this week's episode.
Well, hello and welcome to this episode of DL Weekly for the week of November 5th, 2025. I'm Tag Bushman.
And I'm Teresa Urban. We would like to thank everyone who supports the show, but this week we would like to give a special shout out to Michael M., Cindy B., Stephen Debbie W., and Annalisa H. for your continued support. If you would like to help support the show and get ad-free versions of each episode, access to our supporter-only chat, plus a bunch of other fun perks like the Ornament Exchange, head on over to DLWeekly.net/support to become an official weekly tier.
Now let's get to the news.
Extra, extra! Read all about it! DL Weekly reports from intrepid correspondents Tag and Teresa. You heard it here first, ladies and gents. Breaking news!
Well, Magic Key holders have something new and exciting coming this holiday season. Disneyland will be giving out a new set of collectible trading cards celebrating the holidays. Each week from November 3rd through November 27th, a new card will be released. Cards are limited to one per Magic Key per week.
I'm so curious to see what these look like because, of course, these are just teaser, like a teaser. It looks like a little advent calendar that the Magic Key page had used to promote this. I haven't actually seen any of the cards, physical cards yet. And in fact, I was almost wondering if they were like, how they have like digital pins and digital cards now for you to collect things. I was almost wondering if it was a digital thing that you were collecting and not a physical thing. But it sounds, reading more about it, it does sound like it's a physical item that you can pick up in the park. They're only available weekdays, Monday through Thursdays, it sounds like, which some folks, which I get, like that's difficult for everyone to be able to go to experience and get one of these for themselves because they're excluding the weekends for whatever reason. But if you're a Magic Key holder and you're in the parks over the next, during the holiday season, Monday through Thursdays, check it out and see if you're able to go pick up your little collectible card. I'm just so curious what these look like. The first one's released. I have not seen it yet, though.
Oh, yeah, it would have released yesterday.
Yeah. Last holiday season, Deadpool came to Disney California Adventure to share some holiday stories with his own spin on them. Well, he's coming back for the season with possible appearances by Wolverine. Also returning this season with a new look is Jack Skellington as Sandy Claus. A new Jack Skellington look debuted this Halloween in New Orleans Square.
So this Deadpool news is interesting because there was two kind of camps last year when this happened. Well, first of all, the reason it happened was because this is a year ago is when the Deadpool and Wolverine movie came out. So, of course, it was to coincide with that, as these things do. But also, people that love Deadpool loved this. People that thought that Deadpool was not very Disney felt very passionately that this is not something that should be in the park. But apparently there was more people that liked it that didn't, and so it's coming back. Yeah, and over the holiday season, we saw Jack Skellington in his new outfit or his new costume, and I thought it looked really great. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see the Sandy Claus version.
I love that they flip him from Jack, original Halloween Town Jack Skellington wear to his Sandy Claus outfit for the seasons because he is meeting and greeting for both seasons. I'm trying to think if he's always had the outfit change or if that's kind of something that happened in more recent years and not something that had always been. I could be wrong, but I'm so excited about this. It looks so fun.
It looks really great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm excited that they did this. The new appearance of him just looks so much more authentic.
Yes, it does.
To the character than the previous thing.
So Jack and Sally are very popular characters to go meet. They meet in between the Port Curios and the Pieces of Eights shop. There's kind of like that little courtyard between. That's where their meet and greet location is. There isn't a really great area to set the queue up. So the queue isn't super long, and I think they do have to cut it off just for space sake. So it is not super easy to meet them. You do have to have some, a time commitment involved. But I do like letting people know that if you visit one of the shops, they do have, it is like gated off, so you can't walk from the shop into the courtyard, but you can at least look at the set and see the character interactions kind of, from afar. You're not going to be able to get your photo taken with them or anything, or interact with them yourself. But if you're just curious and want to see these in person, don't have the desire or the time to be able to wait to do a one-on-one meet and greet, that's a great way to experience them as well.
That's how we experienced it when we were there on Halloween. I will tell you, the friend of Jack Skellington was doing an amazing job, being very authentic just in the movements and everything. I did get not a video, but a live photo, and I play it back a few times because I'm like, man, this is just fantastic. And of course, with the new look, it's just...
I remember the first time I met Jack at the Disney parks, and actually that was the first trip that Vern and I took together. That was his first ever time at Disneyland, and that was the first trip that we took together. So that was a while ago, and I remember just being dumbfounded in how he moved and how he sounded. It's so incredible to me. We'll talk about this later with the producers in our discussion topic, but the people that they find to have these characters feel like they've just walked off of the screen is wildly impressive because again, the mannerisms, the movements, the voice sound, it just really, yes, of course the costume's also very important, but it really, really brings that character to life.
Absolutely. Well, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad has been under refurbishment since September, and it has reopened this past weekend. No major changes have been reported on the refreshed attraction. Another attraction that has been down for a while is getting closer to opening as well. Storybook Land canal boats, along with Casey Jr. Circus Train, have the walls down, and the trains have been seen on the Casey Jr. track. This could mean reopening soon.
Everyone cross your fingers, because something really magical happens in Storybook Land during the holidays, because they also get in the holiday spirit, and there's all sorts of tiny little holiday decor, little wreaths, little like strings of lights, that sort of thing that decorate some of the little houses of the folks, the folks living in Storybook Land there. I think that's so fun. With Big Thunder, I did see a couple of things. It looks like our favorite goat, Billy. I don't know if that's his actual name or not. I feel like this was a trivia question, and I don't remember what the answer was. I'm just going to will it into existence that the goat's name is Billy. He looks like he had a little bit of a makeover and a refresh. The other thing that was noted was when you're going up the first lift hill, that waterfall now has a smoke effect instead of it being water pouring down.
Where did you see this?
The internet. Or social media. I want to say it was Mickey blog Mickey, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, because I had not heard of anything like what's funny to me is I swear when we were there was Imagineers with computers out in the loading area, and I was like, well, obviously something's going to be different. Yeah. No idea.
The other thing that I can't remember, I did watch a video of the goat. Did the goat just have the dynamite in his mouth?
Yes.
Or was he chewing on it? Did his mouth move before?
It was closed, and then he would go, meh, as you went around. Yep.
Because it was like a slow-mo video, so I couldn't tell if it was like, if he was like, chewing on it like it was a stick, like gnawing on it like that, or
I love your description
or what it was. But that, So anyways, he's got a little bit of a refresh. He had a little bit of a glow up, if you will, had a spa day. But yeah. I don't know. I'll have to. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Close. Oh, that's blurry. Well, maybe it wasn't on blog.
I'll try and find it and get the link in the show notes.
Okay.
Well, a confidential demolition permit has been filed by the Disneyland Resort for Disney California Adventure. Since the permit is confidential, there are no details, but Scott Gustin was able to confirm through his sources that this is for the upcoming Coco attraction. Construction on this attraction is scheduled to start this fall.
Well, first of all, we knew that this attraction was coming at some point. The fact that this is a confidential permit is kind of weird. Like, why is it, like, if it's just for demolition, like, why is it confidential? It just seems kind of odd to me that would be the situation. But whatever. It's great that the construction is starting on this. I'm excited for the Coco area. They're making really good, pretty quick progress on the Avengers e-ticket. So I'm excited to see how quickly they make progress on the Coco attraction. What do you think about all this?
I'm really excited. I'm not like we mentioned, this was a confidential permit, so we don't know 100%, but Scott Gustin has posted. He's usually a pretty good source, and somehow he's got his finger on the pulse somehow. I would love to talk with this man and ask, like,
where do you get all this
information? How do you know all these things? Yeah, it's so crazy because he will post about things even sometimes before Disney makes official announcements. So
really early too.
Yeah,
sometimes.
So it's like, how do you know? So anyways, and how have you not gotten like in trouble for talking about these things before Disney? Anyways, I'm just fascinated and have so many questions. So I feel like this is probably accurate, but again, we won't know for sure until things start moving. I'm sure there's all sorts of different things going on that we don't know about, but we do know that a Coco attraction is coming, so it is likely that this would add up and make sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see some construction finally get started. The other thing too is everybody on the internet seems to have a different idea of where this show building and everything is going to end up for this. So it'll be interesting to see when they start like tearing some things down to get a better idea of where that's going to end up being. The Key to Disneyland experience has a new final pin option for completing the unlocking experience throughout the park. A new gold and blue key design has been added as a 10th pin available through the experience. It also appears that the other pins are switching from a silver finish to a gold finish as well. This is something I did not see coming.
Not only that, but the blue of the D is now got like a sparkle finish. So they have reimagined the pin that you get out of the Key to Disneyland experience, which is wild to me. You're right, Tag. This was not on my bingo card at all. There was already like a frenzy for the keys in the beginning, so much so that it was very difficult for Disney to keep them in stock. So I'm just really curious. I was excited because when we were there 2 weeks ago, there were keys of plenty. So if you wanted to enjoy this experience and have fun going around and unlocking all of the lands around Disneyland and getting your prize at the end of it, there was plenty of opportunity for that. I am a little concerned that because there are new versions of the key, we're going to see kind of the uptick, I'll say, in people buying many keys just because they really, really want the pins. And I totally understand that. But to me, it's just difficult because this experience, it's an experience, but it also attracts the pin collectors, which, again, I completely understand. I just wish there was an option for maybe like a blind bag. So if you were interested in the pins, you could just do that. You wouldn't have to buy all these physical large plastic keys to be able to collect the pins. I wish there was another option.
Speaking of large plastic keys, when we were there was like one that was like triple the size of a normal key that lit up and made all the sounds and stuff. And did we ever talk about that on the podcast?
I don't know if we did.
I don't understand this product because the Key to Disneyland is already large. And this was like 3 times
even
the size.
Larger. You're not carrying this other one around the park.
It doesn't fit into the key. Like, you're not going to do the unlocking experience with it.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those, like, why? I can imagine making a smaller one, but a bigger. Anyway.
Yeah.
We can move on.
I just wish. I don't think anyone from Disney would be listening. If they are, maybe it's too late. But like that was my thing. Like, I really this was attractive to me. Probably mostly, we'll be honest, for the pins, because I love the Disneyland D pins that they do for a lot of the hidden Disney or the hidden Mickey pins that they release. I love those. Those are my absolute favorite. And I feel that that's probably the same for many Disneyland fans.
Sure.
It's such an iconic thing for Disneyland is that Disneyland D. I wish that there was a way to do blind pack versions of these pins separately, because I would have purchased those, and then you would have been filling both needs. You would have been filling the need for the people that want to do the full experience, and you also would have been more easily filling the need for the people wanting to collect the pins.
It was a cool experience, though.
It was, it is. But if you want multiple pins,
You're not going to spend $60 every time.
But some people were, which obviously that adds up quite quickly.
Somebody in accounting at Disney and marketing is rubbing their hands together in glee.
Yeah.
Like, what's the guy from Simpsons? Mr. Burns.
Oh, Mr. Burns. There you go. Well, he is now part of
That's true.
the Walt Disney Company, so maybe it is him.
Maybe Mr. Burns came up with that idea.
Maybe. Well, the Disneyland Half Marathon will be kicking off at the end of January, so of course we have some new medal designs. Joy is on the 5K, the Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey is on the 10K, and It's a Small World kids are on the Half Marathon medal. Dumbo and Timothy Mouse are on the Dumbo Double Dare, and the partner statue is on the Run Disney Coast to Coast. Stitch is, of course, front and center for the kids' race medals.
So of all of the medals here, I love this Coast to Coast one because it's got Sleeping Beauty Castle and Cinderella Castle and partners in between. It's got Mickey. Who is that? Is that
Minnie? Mickey and
Minnie running?
But it's a little slider, so you can move them back to forth. So they're like, right?
Cool.
They're running coast to coast.
I think my second favorite is probably Sorcerer Mickey with a broom chasing him for the 10K.
Do you notice that they still have like the 70th logo incorporated in them too? I think that's fun.
Well, they're still celebrating. Do you have a favorite of these?
I mean, I think they're all super fun.
That's such a Teresa answer.
They are though. They're fun and all their own. Like the Dumbo, the kids race. Like, look at Stitch. She's like, like you can hear and feel like the intensity of what's going on there.
This is also made out of that like rubber material as opposed to the.
That's what they do for. That's what they do for if you ever visit Castaway Cay and do the Castaway Cay 5K, they give you a medal at the end of it. It's free. It's something that you don't have to like sign up or pay for. You just, it's kind of based on the honor system too. You go through and then when you're finished, you go kind of check in and say, I just completed it. And that's what it is. It's kind of like this rubber material. I'll have to show you what it looks like. They're really nice. They're not, I'm sure they're more cost effective.
Is it also because like kids could get hurt with metal things and the rubber's safer or something if they fall or something?
Could be. It's also just lighter. You can probably do more things with it because, again, more cost effective. You can probably get, I don't know the actual reasoning behind it, but I think they're really fun.
Well, this past week, Disneyland laid off approximately 100 cast members across several teams. The resort explained that they are reorganizing their operations. The positions were salaried and not any hourly cast members.
This is always very sad and always difficult for us to report on because we know, as well as the rest of you know, that cast members are the magic of Disneyland, of the parks, of the company, really, let's face it. So it's always really difficult when things, business decisions have to be made that impact those folks. Of course, we'll never know the full story of why. Of course, there's all sorts of different theories floating around there that it's, in response to this or that or the other thing. But we just really, it really is difficult. And we just feel for those cast members that were impacted by this, whether you were one of the positions that were eliminated, whether it was one of your friends, coworkers, team leads, whoever, someone that you worked with closely that was eliminated. And for all these folks' families too, our heart goes out to all of you. And yeah, it sucks.
Agreed.
Hurricane Melissa severely impacted Jamaica, which Disney Cruise Line sails to for some itineraries. The Walt Disney Company has committed $1 million to assist cast and crew in the region, as well as UNICEF, World Central Kitchen, and Good 360, who are providing relief in the country.
So, of course, this is great that Disney is trying to be a good community member in these areas that are impacted, where they have operations. They have had a port presence there for over 10 years. And they actually have a Facebook page that you can go to that is their crew and community page that talks about how Disney Cruise Line gives back to communities that they sail out of. So
I'm going to go check that out because, I didn't know that Disney, I didn't know that they were more regularly giving back to the communities that their ships port in. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I am the podcast that flaps in the night. I am the Churro Crumb in your meticulously planned itinerary. I am DLWeekly.
Well, this week for Snack Chat, we've got 2 different destinations we're stopping at. So buckle in. This is going to be a long one. First, we are covering the Festival of the Holidays Foodie Guide. It is our first holiday time foodie guide released for Disneyland, which I know we have been impatiently waiting for because it feels like the holidays are just around the corner and they haven't told us about all the delicious things one can go eat and drink while celebrating.
There's always something. So let's start with the foods marketplaces that are located along the performance corridor. We're just going to cover some of the new stuff here. So at Holiday Duets, there's an El Pastor mac and cheese with tortilla crumble and cilantro.
And then returning, we have the savory Kugel mac and cheese as well as the Holiday Duet, which you can do half portion of each of the mac and cheeses. I love that.
Oh,
that's great. They need more of those where you can get even a more tasting portion of, a smaller tasting portion of the tasting portions.
At a twist on tradition, the new item is the holiday turkey leg with cranberry sauce. Still not interested because I'm not a turkey leg person. And returning is the beef brisket slider.
Of course, we've got some beverages there new. We have a salted caramel brownie White Russian, as well as the returning cranberry Christmas mule. Over at the Brews and Bites, this has been a festival favorite for quite a while, the Chorizo Queso Fondito, which is also available at Cozy Cone 5. That's fun that you can get it at 2 different locations. And then, of course, beverages, we have the cookie. Ooh, there's a cookies and cream hazelnut hot cocoa that is returning. There are some different cocktails and beers and seltzers that are new. But let's also just focus real quick. We have an Irish hot cocoa cocktail, which is Irish whiskey hot cocoa by Joffrey's with cookies and cream flavors, melted chocolate hazelnut puree, and Irish cream syrup garnished with whipped cream. That is new this year as well. So basically the alcoholic version of that cookies and cream hazelnut hot cocoa.
At Grandma's Recipes, 2 returning favorites, the Barbacoa Tamal de Res and the Cookie Dough Yule Log. And then a couple beverages, the Cafe de Olla cold brew, and new this year is the Cafe de Olla Carajillo cocktail, which is Spanish liqueur, Jeffrey's Mexican origin coffee, whole and condensed milk, and a house-made spiced pilon. Oh, I'm so sorry for butchering all of these words. Somebody listening is groaning at me right now. Piloncillo syrup topped with a chocolate dulce de leche sweet cream and garnished with a mini pan dulce.
How cute is that? Okay, so we had the Barbacoa Tamal. I really remember enjoying that. We did not. This looks great, though, this cookie dough Yule log. And you know I'm all about the cold brews, and this one sounds delicious.
Of course.
Moving on. Maybe I should let you talk about this next booth because it has one of your favorite things.
It's actually 2 of at least a category of my favorite things. So at favorite things is the return, of course, of the braised pork belly adobo with garlic rice. This is something that Teresa judged before because last time we were there, I bought it twice because it's so good. Also, the sticky toffee pudding macaron, which looks awesome.
How cute is it? It looks like a little Mickey gingerbread head.
Right. And the only new beverage at this location is the Winter Citrus New York Sour.
We do need to take a moment and talk about the guava melon lassi because that is something that has been coming back year after year. This is wonderful. It's yogurt, guava nectar, and rock melon and honey syrups topped with cinnamon whipped cream and honey flavored cereal, also known as what are those, honeycomb cereals?
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. In reading that description, I'd never got the hints of cinnamon in the whipped cream before. But it's delicious, very refreshing. Merry Mashups is our next holiday location. New this year, there's a holiday M&M's Eau Claire, which is filled with milk chocolate mousse and topped with whipped ganache. And of course, M&M's milk chocolate minis. And there's also a returning holiday mash bowl. This sounds delightful. Chicken cheddar, mashed potatoes, and turkey gravy with cranberry stuffing crunch.
Also, some new beverages. There's the Tropical Holiday Punch. Ooh, this looks like super blue and refreshing. It's got pineapple, orange, and lemon juices, blue raspberry syrup, and coconut puree garnished with a blue raspberry gummy candy. That is non-alcoholic. The other new item here is a drink. It's the Blue Tropical Cocktail, which is rum, pineapple, orange, and lemon juices, blue raspberry syrup, coconut puree garnished with blue, sugar-coated pineapple wheel, and a dark rum float. That is new this year. Returning is the berry pomegranate Paloma.
So to celebrate Disney Viva Navidad, you can head on back to the Paradise Garden Grill, which honestly one of our most favorite places to dine in DCA. But new this year for that location, we've got Tacos Dorados de Camarón. There's an al pastor torta. And then returning, we've got esquites loaded chips, antichoke half chicken. There's also a chocolate cake flan, Viñedos Bianco, and a berry pomegranate paloma.
The Tacos Dorados de Camarón, these look like the birria tacos, but with shrimp.
Shrimp, yes.
And I'm very excited about that. Also, the torta we had back there a couple years ago.
Yeah, we had it.
Also really good.
I'm curious if that's the same or if they've just, I don't know if it's the same.
It says new.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same insides, but we did split a torta back there several years ago now.
And it was very good.
Oh, it was so good. Definitely a sharing portion.
Throughout Disney California Adventure at Clarabelle's Hand Scooped Ice Cream, they have a returning chocolate peppermint lava cake, which looks... Go look at the link in the show notes for some of these things, because that description does not do this photo justice.
If the only thing that could make this even better, maybe they do this. Somebody that knows could write in and let me know. The only thing that could make this like chef's kiss would be if this peppermint ice cream is made with the Disneyland candy canes.
Oh.
Could you imagine? I don't know if it is. I doubt it is. But that would be pure magic if it was.
Vern would like this next one.
Vern is not here yet because he's gearing up for the second half of our foodie guide. But there's a couple new churros that are heading to the resort, or heading to DCA, I should say specifically. Over in Hollywoodland, we have the cannoli churro. We tried this one a couple years back. We actually tried it, I think, on a live stream. Delicious. Very, very delicious. This is definitely a fork and knife type one. It was a little difficult to pick up and eat, but highly recommend. Terran
Treats has a new strawberry basil churro, which has a strawberry sauce, a basil dust, and whipped topping. This looks pretty good.
I'm intrigued by that. That also looks like maybe fork and knife might be the better way to go with that
definitely.
Too. Over at Aunt Cass Cafe, we have a pumpkin cheesecake bread pudding, which I believe is a tie over from Halloween time. I believe that was on the Halloween time menu, and it's continuing on. There was a couple other items that were on menus before that are continuing on. And then at Rita's Turbine Blenders, we have, this sounds delightful, a hot blueberry cider. So it's a hot blueberry apple cider. There's a non-alcoholic, and then there's also an alcoholic version of it with bourbon.
At the Casina Cucamonga Mexican Grill in San Francisco, there is a new house-made orange, yuzu, and cranberry agua fresca with cinnamon and clove. There's also what is that? Is that basically the same thing, but an alcoholic version that comes with tequila? So those are two things. And now we're to look at the timing on this one, the cappuccino cart.
One of my favorite places, the cappuccino cart. It looks like there is a pumpkin spiced horchata cold brew, as well as a cinnamon caramel apple bundt cake. And then, holy buckets, we're not even done with the churros. I thought we were. Sorry, go on. We've got more.
At Sonoma Terrace, along the Performance Corridor, the Unsung Brewing Company St. Nick R. Doodle Imperial Blonde Ale. And at Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta, there's the Holiday Pizza, which is a roasted turkey and roasted butternut squash, cranberries, arugula fig jam, and cranberry sauce. I actually am somewhat intrigued by this.
I'm wishing that it was this minus the turkey, though. I think it sounds better just being roasted butternut squash, cranberries, arugula, fig jam, and a cranberry sauce.
You know what? I'll bet you if you were to buy, because I think that
if you did
could buy the whole pizza, you could probably say, could I do it without that?
Yeah, I think that would have been an awesome vegetarian option for sure. Okay, so we thought we were done with churros. We are not.
Never.
However, this is a churro that was available previously. I don't remember. We've had so many foodie guides this year. I don't remember if it was actually from the 70th or the Halloween time. But over by Goofy Sky School and Senior Buzz, Fresas con Crema churro. This is one of the ones that Vern reviewed, actually. So it's we were thinking maybe some of his churro reviews were going to be outdated, but look at that. Some of them just are sticking around for the holidays as well.
I don't know what this is because I literally did not look at this foodie guide before scrolling down. The Smoke Jumpers Grill has a spicy, so it kind of rolls me out, Cajun loaded fries. It's Cajun fries topped with hot links, cheddar cheese, corn, and bell peppers. This looks really
and by
good.
corn, it looks like freshly sliced off the cob corn.
It looks like the corn ribs almost that they have at the barbecue.
Looks wild. I wish we were going. I would try this. I like don't know what this is, but I want to try it. If someone is listening and tries this, please write in and let us know how this is if you do. And then this is fun. Outdoor vending locations located, of course, throughout the park. You have your choice of a blackberry cotton candy or a mint chocolate chip cotton candy. Again, I am very intrigued.
Mint chocolate chip cotton candy.
I am so intrigued by mint chocolate chip cotton candy because mint chocolate chip is like something I thought of for things like ice cream or fudge or even like a candy bar type thing. Never would I have put mint chocolate chip with cotton candy. Blackberry cotton candy makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Still fun and unique.
Do you think there's going to be chocolate chips in the
I'm so
candy?
curious. I can't wait for social media to show me photos and what's going on here because I am so... I need to know what this is.
Sure.
I cannot imagine what this is. Doesn't sound like there are too many wrong choices. Lots of wonderful, wonderful options. So I hope that you enjoy eating your way and celebrating the holidays at the Disneyland Resort.
And next week may end up being another foodie guide for other stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
We have not gotten the full Disneyland Resort holiday time foodie guide yet. So more foods are coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for a second round of a very special Churro Talk with Vern. I am Vern, your host of this Churro Talk with Vern, and with me, as always, are Tag and Teresa, who are going to listen to me recap the churros that I enjoyed on our most recent visit to Disneyland. Tag and Teresa, are you ready to hear about these wonderful churros?
Would love
to.
All right. So we left off last week after the Strawberry Churro. We then went over to Disney California Adventure, where I went to Willie's Churro Cart, and I enjoyed the coffee and donut churro.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Now, this one was the regular churro dipped in coffee sugar with coffee-infused chocolate sauce, whipped cream, and sprinkles. Now, this one, having that coffee sugar with the coffee-infused chocolate sauce, it was a very coffee-forward churro. And, coffee-forward in the flavor. I mean, personally, being a black coffee drinker myself, I didn't mind having the straight-up coffee flavor just kind of smacking me in the taste buds and saying, hey, you're getting your coffee now. But for having a well-balanced flavor profile, you really had to make sure that you got all the ingredients at once, really get in the whipped cream and the sprinkles. And when you got a bite that had all of the ingredients at the same time, it actually really tasted like a mocha. So I'm scoring this one like a solid 4.25 to a 4.5 out of 5. I would totally eat this one again.
Did you have the taste of this one too?
It was delicious. I really liked this one too.
Yeah, I steered away just because coffee.
Well, yeah. Definitely you have to be one who enjoys coffee and coffee drinks. If you're not a coffee drinker, this is a very coffee-forward churro. Stay away from it. Later in the day, we went over to the Cozy Cone over in Cars Land, and I checked out the pumpkin pie churro. And this was a classic churro topped with pumpkin cream and pie crust pieces. This was a great blend of the flavors. It had just the right amount of everything on it. The pumpkin pie cream gave it kind of a pumpkin pie cheesecake flavoring and texture to it. Really, it's the taste that they gave to it and like the ingredients that they used, whatever was in that cream, it was delicious. I loved it. The churro kind of acted like the crust of a pumpkin pie would be, and then the cream itself and the crusty sprinkles on it. It was great. It was seasonal. It had that fall flavor to it. It was everything that I would want in a cooler weather fall tasty treat type thing. I'm giving it a solid 4.5. It was not entirely life-changing, but way up there. Definitely enjoyable to eat. I highly recommend it.
You actually had your own of this churro, Tag. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I tried when Vern tried it, and I was like, this thing is fantastic. So later in the trip, I ended up getting my own as well, and it was very, very good. It tasted very close to what it says it was, and I thought it wasn't too sweet it wasn't too anything. It was just like the right levels of everything. So
Yeah.
I would agree with Vern on the 4.5 rating.
Yeah, the balance on it was just great. Yep. So as we're rounding into our last two, we went to Senor Buzz and had a strawberry horchata churro. This was a classic churro with horchata sugar, topped with horchata whipped topping, caramel sauce, and fresh strawberries. It was tasty overall, especially with all of the ingredients in one bite. You had to make sure that you mixed it all up in your little what do they call those? The dish that they come in. There's a word. The boat. Thank you. My brain wasn't.
You thought of that because I was like, I don't know.
My brain was not.
I had to think.
Spent 20 years working in food service, and my brain was not coming up with boat. All right, so yeah, if you really took the time to make sure that every bite had every ingredient, it was tasty. But the caramel, the caramel sauce, really kind of overpowered the horchata flavor. Like the horchata was too subtle, or the caramel was too overpowering, or it just wasn't really working together. And having the fresh strawberries diced made it hard to actually like balance them on each bite. If I had any say in designing churros, I would never, like, we had this problem earlier with the blueberry chunks and the blueberry sauce on the citrus churro with the blueberry lemon sauce. It's very hard to balance actual fruit on a churro, and therefore you can't always get it into every single bite. So on this strawberry horchata churro, I would have used a strawberry puree instead of the fresh strawberries, therefore making it easier to get every single bite with all the flavors. So just with the difficulties of getting all your flavors together, I mean, it was very tasty, but it wasn't really horchata. I got to give this one a 3.5.
This one felt like maybe it would have been better enjoyed like fork and knife style instead of like finger food style.
Yep.
I was surprised that this trip there was two strawberry churros, Vern, or was there three?
Oh, well, there was the straw batty, which had the strawberry filling, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool that they did that. First time that I ever had a strawberry filled.
I feel like in the time we've been reporting on food for Disneyland, which has been quite a while at this point, that they seem to go in like phases of like they'll pick something and they'll be like, we're really into like right now strawberries, and then there's like strawberry stuff everywhere, or we're really into pumpkin spice, and then that's everywhere.
There's like themes.
So I thought that the strawberry this time, I just had not remembered seeing multiple strawberries before, but they haven't done with the strawberry like they've done with the other stuff, because there wasn't. I feel like if to fully go that route, you'd have like 3 or 4 different churros. You'd have a strawberry beignets. You'd have a strawberry dipping sauce. You'd have, and we haven't quite got to that point.
Yeah. And finally, we couldn't go to the 70th celebration without having the 70th celebration churro, which I found in Frontierland, and something that I haven't done before, but I finally thought to do it on this one. This churro was prepared for me by Jaylene. So if you're in Frontierland and you go to a churro cart and you see Jaylene, let her know she did a good job. So hopefully in future churro talks, I'll be able to say with every single churro who it was that prepared them for me, because I want people to get their shout-outs where they're due. The 70th celebration churro is a regular churro with ube sugar, blueberry raspberry icing, and sprinkles. Now, I had to do a little research because I had never heard of ube sugar. Ube is a purple yam that lends a nutty vanilla flavor. That being said, you get your blueberry raspberry icing and the nutty vanilla flavor. All those flavors combined together gave me a Fruity Pebbles churro.
Huh.
And I loved it. It was delicious. It was like, you're a kid and you have Fruity Pebbles and then you're drinking the milk afterwards and you get like all that flavor combination going on in a churro.
And you liked it?
Oh, it was so good. I really enjoyed it. It was absolutely delicious. 4.5 out of 5. I mean, everybody keeping in mind that for me to give that high of a number, that's huge. That's darn near life-changing.
Is 5.
Yeah, life-changing is 5. So 4.5 is almost life-changing.
Yes, I mean, broke the paradigm is 5. 4.5 is run out and buy this today.
Poor Tag was excited to try this until you looked at the sprinkles. Tag is very specific on what sprinkles.
Yeah, those sprinkles that are hard, I don't like those. I like the
the long skinny
the long
ones,
skinny
but
tube
you don't
like
like
ones.
the spherical ones.
Yeah, because they're too hard. Like you bite in and like it hurts my teeth.
Like
Sure.
they're kind of like mini jawbreakers.
I'm also not a fan of these like flat,
The, like,
circular, like pancake
confetti-looking
ones.
ones?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those either because it's again usually they're a little too firm. Like I like the crunchiness.
Usually I thought those were a little more soft.
Nah, I think they can be either. In my experience, has been that they've been firmer. So it looks like a fun churro, though, Vernon. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, it was great, and I'm glad that they did a 70th celebration so that people can. I'm glad that they pulled off a very tasty 70th celebration so that people can really enjoy celebrating the 70th with a tasty churro.
Well, that concludes our churro talk with Vern. We have now gotten through all of the different churros that Vern got to enjoy on our most recent trip to the parks.
Calling all weekly tiers, we are once again doing our supporter holiday ornament exchange. The sign-up period is open right now and ends Saturday, November 8th, like early in the morning. So if you want to become part of the ornament exchange before Saturday, November 8th, you should go in.
That's this Saturday.
Yes.
Which is crazy to think already. But
right. So if you're already a supporter, you can go to the Patreon to get the link, or you should be able to find it in Patreon. There should be a link as well, or in the Discord. If you want to be a part of this, but you're not currently a weekly tier, head on over to DLWeekly.net/support. So the ornament exchange is when you sign up for it, you get anonymously paired with another weekly tier, and ornaments are exchanged. We'll have a Zoom call at the end where everybody can kind of open them together. If you can't make the Zoom call, it's not the end of the world, but it is a really fun community event that we do every year. And it's just a ton of fun. So we're excited to see as many people as possible getting in on the event here. There is a budget limit of like $30, so you don't have to feel like you have to break the bank. So if that sounds like fun, once again, DLWeekly.net/support. Head on into the Discord to get the details. There's also details on Patreon.
DL Weekly announces the boarding of the Trivia Express, non-stop star speeder service to the moon of Endor. All passengers, please prepare for immediate boarding.
Welcome to Trivia Land, where we have 4 regular questions and a bonus question, all from my wonderful brain and from my camera. Are you ready to get stumped tonight?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we're ready, and then you ended, are you ready to get stumped?
No, Vern just came from the parks, and he was taking notes and stuff again. So.
I was trying to pay attention to when he'd get real quiet.
Oh, no, you never pay attention to me.
I was trying. I didn't say I was succeeding, but I was trying.
We also don't know what he did that whole morning other than entertainment.
Thankfully, I think he only did entertainment.
Yeah,
we're safe.
Yep,
I think we're safe that
You were
morning.
completely safe from that morning. All I did
be-
was just chase around all the entertainers.
We shouldn't be admitting that because that means we were with him while he was collecting information and we were just obliviously in our own little
James
world.
and I talk about this all the time, how if you ever watch like Amazing Race, I told James, I said, if we're ever on the show, you got to watch the cameramen, because the cameramen are usually pointing at what the problem is of your tasks that you're doing.
True.
So you just got to look at the cameraman and what are the cameramen pointing
What are
at?
they focusing on?
Yeah. So unfortunately, we were not paying attention. We were not taking our own advice. So Vern, slap us with some terrible trivia.
All right. Well, so this was my first trip since the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And so it was my first opportunity to get to experience the attraction in its current form, including my first chance to see the queue. And so as we were going through the queue, I was taking all sorts of pictures and really enjoying the new way that the queue is with all the new decorations and the cool stuff that we saw. And so for your first question tonight, in the queue for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, we walk past her kitchen.
I actually paid attention to this part.
And don't admit these things.
Above her sink, there's a chalkboard with a reminder to whomever is reading it. What does she not want you to forget?
The answer to this trivia question.
Above the sink makes me think wash your hands, but I don't know if that's necessarily what it is. What, you got to dig a little deeper?
Don't forget to dig a little deeper. Don't forget is what you said?
Can we use
There's
our
something she wants you to not forget.
devices?
Why, are you going to go through the shared Google
No,
photos? And
Can I
see the
use my
picture I
own
took?
personal photos? I don't remember if I took a picture of this area or not.
What are normally the rules in Trivia Land? Are we allowed
don't think
devices?
We don't usually look up anything.
No.
So if you're looking through your photos, would you be...
No, it's a very long thing.
Why are you're
I'm not gonna answer the question.
I like how Teresa's like,
I already found it.
Can I do this as I'm doing it?
I already found it. I'm going with dig a little deeper.
Dig a little deeper.
Mhm.
All right.
I'm gonna say like, because what's the little song like? Find the magic spot. What do they say?
For what?
What's the song like that? You're trying to find the magic spice or something like that.
Very special spice.
Yeah. So don't forget the very special spice. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, don't forget the spice.
Can I just say that your spirit jersey that you're wearing, Teresa, matches your nails and your phone.
Oh, look at that.
You are all
Look, you can't
matchy.
even see my nails because they blend right on into the...
I looked over and I'm like, did you do this all on purpose? 'Cause
No,
it's all
I
the
did
same
not.
color. Anyway.
No, I did not.
Okay. Your second question.
Vern wants none of that.
Still looking at Tiana's kitchen.
Oh, no.
Next to her icebox, you can see 2 bottles of hot sauce, a staple in all of her cooking. What flavors are they?
Oh, boy.
Hot and hotter. No, I don't know.
What did you say for the sign? You said special spice.
I said special spice. Yeah, don't forget special spice. And then for the hot sauce, you said what flavors are they? There's 2 of them.
There's 2 of them. What flavors are they?
What's like
I don't know, but I know she makes, I know her company makes the hot sauce. I did learn that in the queue.
Okay, but what type of hot sauce is it?
I don't know. You're going to go with hot and hotter?
Sure. I mean, I'm not getting any points either way. So, By the way, I'm looking at producer James and he is shaking his head. Yep. Nope. You're not getting points either way.
I'm going to say maybe it's like a movie thing. Like it has something to do with her dad or one of the other, named after one of the characters.
See, I was thinking if it was in my brain somewhere, which obviously it isn't, that it would be something like a pepper or something like from the South, from New Orleans or Louisiana or something. But I don't know what any of those are.
Oh, you mean a vegetable,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Or pepper. It's a hot sauce,
Yeah,
so it'd be a pepper. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. What was the question again?
There's 2 bottles of hot sauce.
Yeah.
What flavors?
Flavors. Okay. Because all of a sudden I'm like, wait, was it flavor or was it the name of the hot sauce? Flavors. I don't know. They cook with okra in the movie, so I'm going to say okra.
Okra's, yeah, that's a good one. Good answer. We're like Family Feud.
I don't know. Hot.
Okra and hot. Got it.
They're terrible, terrible answers, but
So that was hot chili and okra?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okra
Because they're
and
making the bayou gumbo and shit.
Sure.
Picks okra from the bayou.
Well, okra
Okay.
is so popular down there, yeah.
It's because okra's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Your third question. A framed copy of the New Orleans Business Journal hangs on the wall in Tiana's kitchen. It's the issue that is the feature of her restaurant opening. In an article, she is quoted as saying, "Good food has the power to bring folks together, blank, blank, blank of blank."
It's probably in the movie too.
Good food brings people together, blank,
Good
blank.
food has the power to bring folks together, blank, blank, blank of blank.
Can we get one more word that isn't of? Can we have the word
has
after
the
of?
power to bring folks together, blank, all, blank, blank of blank.
From all different walks of life.
That's too many words.
From all
Walks of life.
Walks of life.
Final answer?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
going to get on that paddle boat, river boat, whatever. Paddle wheeler.
I bet you it's from all, but maybe walks in life are not right. From
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways.
Okay. Final answer.
Yeah.
From all
Yeah,
walks of
that's
life.
as good as we're getting.
Okay. And your fourth and final regular round question. On the kitchen counter, there's a recipe card. What's
This one,
Tiana
no.
cooking?
She's cooking
Beignets.
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 I got the picture because I told James, I said, I can make some Tiana beignets, but they don't have all the instructions.
Yeah, because it says C reverse or something for or
like the baking instructions or
whatever,
something. Yeah. So we have all the ingredients. We just don't have how long do you cook it or what all? Yeah. How do you do all the stuff?
All right. Is that your final answer?
Yeah. Hey, we at least got one.
All right.
Confident.
And your bonus question
No,
tonight.
I took a picture of it for that reason.
Tiana's father taught her important lessons that she carried on into business and life, including the motto that she had emblazoned on the water tower that you travel past during the attraction. It reads, "Never lose sight of blank, blank, blank."
I thought it was your dream. Never lose sight of. Dang it. How many blanks? Three?
Three.
Too many to say. Never lose sight of one thing. It all started with a mouse.
No.
That's Walt.
No.
Follow your dreams? Never lose sight of follow. No, it doesn't make any sense. It's on the stupid water tower.
And I feel like it's probably in the movie, too. Never lose sight of. I thought it was just of what's important, but that's not enough words. Because, right? Blank, blank, blank.
Yeah, never lose sight of blank, 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 right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to steal April's answer from our chat of who you are.
Yeah,
that sounds
we'll
good.
go with that.
Oh.
That sounds maybe more like Mufasa.
So if we get this right, 50% of the credit goes to April L in the live stream chat.
All right. So who you are. Final answer?
Yes. It's the best we
Never
got.
lose sight of, what you need. Oh! No, maybe. That was 3 words.
What you need?
Yeah, I'm going to go with what you need.
Okay, I'm going to stick with who you are.
All right. What you need. Okay. Final answers.
Oh, find out who you are. That's why I'm like, where did that come into my head?
Anyway.
Because it's 2 parts of the
Yes,
song.
that's final answers. We're good, Vern.
Okay. All right. Well, listeners, how did you do listening at home? How do you think Tag and Teresa did? If you stick around until later, we can all find out together.
Well, this week for our discussion topic, we are bringing the producers in. Both of them. Vern is coming to us from Trivia Land. Producer James, I think, is also galloping in from Trivia Land or something.
No, where do you go when you're not in Trivia Land?
We're just always in Trivia Land.
Oh,
we're trapped here.
We're like
trapped
C-3PO and Star Tours talking no matter if anyone's listening.
Oh,
So,
that's sad.
There was a couple things that we did with the producers this time that they have never done before, one of which is Oogie Boogie Bash. Now, you've both experienced Pride Night and Star Wars Night, and now Oogie Boogie Bash. So, which one of you would like to start on what was your overall... I'm curious to see, how did you think it compared to the other two that you had been
We're going
to?
to start with that.
Why not?
Big overall question.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why? We're not going to mess around here. Let's just dive right in.
Let's back up a moment.
Dive in,
fine.
Yeah, let's back up a moment. Going into Oogie Boogie Bash, since you've heard Tag and I talk about it multiple times, and you've had the experience of going to 2 other After Dark nights, what were your expectations? What were you
that's a good one.
thinking it was going to be like?
The expectations on this one were so tremendously high because you have talked so highly about it, how well organized it is, how great the experiences are.
Mm-hmm.
Listeners we've talked to and heard from have talked about how great it is.
Yep.
So this was supposed to be like the greatest Disney experience I've ever had in the parks.
Oh, no.
Yeah?
Maybe we talked about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we had a level that was never going to be obtainable.
I'm not going to lie. The hype machine was definitely running. And I went into it with very high expectations because I have heard so much over the years.
Now we can get to how did it measure up to that?
I think it mostly lived up to expectations.
Mostly.
Okay. Mostly?
Mostly,
Not
yep.
bad.
Yep.
I'm going to go with mostly, yep.
And that is going to be very few things that aren't where I wanted them to be. And the ones that weren't are still like minute details. This truly lived up to a lot of the expectations.
So Maybe this is my overactive imagination, or maybe it's everybody else's bad storytelling, or it's a combination of the two. But in my head, the entire treat trail was built like Villain's Grove.
Oh.
So, like, it wasn't just Villain's Grove. It was like the entirety of DCA was built up like Villains. Like, you didn't see a character unless it was as built up as Villain's Grove is. And that was how, like, all of the treat trailness was going to be. And so when we got to our first character on the treat trail and we're just, like, there in a line and there's no ambiance around me, I'm like, okay, I misunderstood something here.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, in fairness, I feel like I'm guilty for talking up Villain's Grove so much because I think that I've been on the record of saying that I think that's worth the price of admission right there because I thought it's so great. So since you thought the whole thing was that way and it was not, what did you think of that specific part of the night?
So once I tempered my expectations and I understood that there was Villain's Grove and there was Treat Trail, and the two were separate entities, then I was able to really enjoy Treat Trail, and it was incredibly well organized, and it was very enjoyable, and they were really whipping people through the lines, and you were able to, if you were just there for the treats, you were able to just get through and get your treats. If you were there to watch the interactions with the character, you were able to kind of hang around and do that. Very well organized, awesomely done with that. And Villain's Grove, mostly, I was really impressed. Most of it, I was like, wow, this is really well put together. This is beautifully artistically done. I really see what they were going for here. It was beautiful stuff. And then there were other parts that I was just like, wow, you kind of called this one in. So, but overall, genuinely, I was very impressed with everything that they did with all the presentations and all the collaboration and making stuff happen.
And I think we probably had the better Villain's Grove experience because we were with you two. I feel like there are a lot of people moving very quickly through it.
And so Teresa said right in the beginning, slow down.
Yep. So you pointing things out to us, like the fireflies taking shapes of the villains to understand the thematic area of it.
Yep.
I probably would have missed that or caught on to it too late and wondered what else was there. I wouldn't have been upset going through it again by any means. I thought it was a really just cool experience, like a different take on a haunted house.
Sure.
Which I really enjoyed. So.
We hit it correct for time, though, because there was, like, no line.
No, we just walked right in.
Whatsoever. Usually there's quite the queue to get into Villain's Grove, so we had perfect timing. And I think the floodgates kind of opened just after we got in there because there were a lot of people filtering in past us.
We got there quick after the parade, and that made a huge difference that people were still watching the spectacular or weren't moving as quick as we were. So definitely helped. Going back to Vern's thoughts on the treat trails, like if we can get into it, I think some treat trails feel a lot more successful than others. And I don't necessarily think it's because of the villains, but I think it's because of the layouts of the things. The ones where you can see more of the character and kind of have, I feel like, kind of that experience of what Vern's hoping for, of like seeing the character and being in that more, feel better to me. Like they are much more memorable for me. So I think about Oogie Boogie, I think about Hades, I think about Dr. Doofenshmirtz, I think about Ernesto de la Cruz, and just having them all around, hearing them even in the distance and kind of seeing that interaction was super cool versus where we started like Syndrome, or even worse, the villain from Big Hero 6, where we were back by Cars Land and then slowly getting ourselves up to him. And it's just like, I don't feel like I'm quite as immersed in this treat trail as I want to be in some of the situations.
Yeah, good points.
Some of them, yes, definitely are more immersive and more production type experiences than others. And yeah, poor Sid. So Sid was kind of the same. And really the thing with Sid and now Syndrome was they kind of just like, they're that treat trail's the one that started with like roasting guests. And so the other villains didn't really roast guests. They do now. Like Hades was also roasting guests.
Oh, Hades was great.
Yeah, they do
incredible.
now. But that all started with that treat trail back there. And I think it's because they can't really make it more like, you can't really have like a set piece or, anything to make it. You don't have projections or screens or like fog or anything that back there. It's a pretty basic, minimal decor that transforms it into the set for whichever villain's going to be back there. So that's kind of where like the comedic roasting started. The thing that does have going for it is at least when you're lined up for it, not so much when it's the first thing and everybody's lined up back there, but if you get there early like we did, the line really kind of just zigzags back and forth in front of it. So even while you're waiting, you still get to watch other people's interactions with the character, which I think is nice. Which, like you said, James, what is the guy's name? Yokai, I think?
Yeah.
The villain from Big Hero 6, when they have you queue all the way up and you're, like darn near like to the entrance of Ramones and Flo's because you're queued up so far back, you're really out of it, and then really just makes that line feel like it takes a very long time, even though in reality it probably didn't take as long as it felt.
And that roasting was so cool. Like I really appreciate Syndrome being like, I am judging your villains' outfits tonight. Yes. And it was just like perfect line of like villain humor, Disney friendly, and still getting some good laughs from people as they go through it. I loved it.
A good like use of the character, because Sid is like, I don't know, a like pre-teen aged boy who's like obnoxious, right? He's like, he thinks everyone's like his sister's stupid. Like he's not a very nice kid. And so they really played on like that personality of Sid to like be making fun of everyone, because that's just unfortunately Sid's mean characterness. So I didn't know how it was going to play out with Syndrome, because he's not really like, yes, he's a villain, but I wouldn't say that like personality wise he like is a bully or is mean. So I thought that was really a really fun twist that he was critiquing everyone's superhero costumes or whatever it was. I thought that was great.
One improvement this year that you guys got to experience that I really appreciated, that I had prepped you for, but ended up not being a thing, was in the Animation Academy where they have Oogie Boogie. In previous years, you didn't get to stop and hear Oogie Boogie say anything or do anything or take photos. It was very much go, 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 go. This year was nice because they were like, if you want to stay and take pictures or look at Oogie Boogie, step over here to the side, keep the candy trail moving.
Yeah.
And I thought that worked really well, because there were some people who like, they don't care. They just want to get as much candy in the night as possible.
Yep.
And they can see Oogie Boogie as they're wandering through that. And then there are some people like me who I've always felt like I've wanted to see Oogie Boogie more and see him interact with people. He is the host of the party.
Right.
And
it's
we didn't expect that. Yeah. So you guys, I think you got lucky with that, because the last couple of years it's been keep it moving, people. Keep it moving.
They rerouted how the candy trail loops around in there. And I feel like they did that with all of the different characters, where there was kind of an area that you could just kind of linger a little bit more, or you could just go through it. Hades I thought was fun because I went into the linger area. I think the three of you just went through the treat trail area, went to the side of it. Hades was themed, his little like area, because it was like the River of Souls, like from the underworld, and it looked like had the animated style of what the souls in the river looked like in the underworld. So that was pretty fun. And then if people were lingering in there too long, he then like used that as a warning, like, but you're going to become one of them if you don't get a move on. So he also had a way to kind of get people to continue moving.
Not just park there all night.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty fun. So, I mean, this is always a bad question coming from me because I have a hard time choosing, but what was your favorite of the different treat trails? Who was your favorite villain, your favorite interaction, or your favorite just overall setup of the treat trails?
So I think I'm going to give you two. One of the surprise that we got on the treat trail that I enjoyed, and I don't feel like I should have been surprised by this, but it was. But Ernesto de la Cruz was willing to heckle people in Spanish.
Yeah, yes. That was fun.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome.
So fitting perfectly with the character.
Are you sure he was heckling? Because we don't really speak Spanish.
I mean, I'm assuming so, because that's what it's going for. But at least there was dialogue in Spanish with people speaking Spanish back.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really neat. Fits for the character. Gets a cool moment in that setting. I really enjoyed that. Thought it was great.
Well, and he didn't get flustered when people were having dialogue with him in Spanish.
No.
And, I mean, it was fluidly coming off of his lips. And I, by no means am I fluent at all in Spanish or anything, but I am studying Spanish, and I was catching a lot of words and phrases. So I'm going to believe that, yes, that character actor was a true bilingual person. They were really just doing the role.
Yeah. What did you think? I want to let you finish Teresa's question, but since we're talking about Ernesto, what did you think of his facial makeup?
I feel like you're fishing for us to complain or criticize.
No, I want to know what you thought. Like I think Teresa and I talked about last year that it's really impressive. I think.
Okay. I was it doesn't stand out for me in terms of memory, so I think that's a good thing.
I was genuinely impressed that they were able to do such a good job of creating a mask that doesn't look like a mask, that was still able to work with the natural jaw and be able to move and not cause a lisp. Or, I mean, it was so natural while obviously not natural. I was impressed.
Okay. Now, please go on with Teresa's question of your favorite stuff.
So yeah, your favorite was Ernesto, right?
No, I think that was more of my surprise of a good moment. I think my favorite was probably Hades.
Oh.
What was it about Hades?
I think it was the right amount of interaction. I like that he had some control, that he could like turn his fire in the stage around him red.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there was nice immersion into him and the set and everything with it. He had a good voice. He had a good rapport. It felt like a real like life character. I mean, most of the villains did for how well I know them, but that's the one that I just keep coming back to. I really enjoyed that one.
How about for you, Vern?
Well, so because he stole my favorite, I'm just going to yes and him and say
Hades was your favorite, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was my favorite until James stole him. So
you can have
now
the
I have
same
to come up
favorite.
with another favorite. No.
It's only because Madam Mim wasn't there.
I'm just going to yes and him and then pick a new favorite. So there was, obviously the set design, the staging, the just the overall interactions
the
with
great use of space.
What was that? Oh,
The
yeah,
great
great
use
use
of
of
that
space, the interactions with the people that were, there with the audience. Also, just the person playing the role, the way that they got down the voice, they got down the vocal patterns. They really immersed into the role and took it on as being Hades, being, true to the movie and just being it. And I mean, yeah, it was very, very well done. I mean, they raised the bar on what it is to be a villain for Oogie Boogie Bash.
So who was your
my
second answer?
next favorite is another one that I really feel was at that bar raising level when we went to see Judge Doom.
Judge Doom.
Yeah,
Yep.
I kept wanting to say Dr. Doom, and I'm like, no, wrong universe.
Wrong universe.
Yep, yeah.
Wrong villain.
Yeah. But Judge Doom was another one that he got the vocal patterns down. His voice was very, very close. He took heckling from the crowd very well and was able to dish things right back. And just, I mean, his interactions were right on, but also shooed people away when the timing was right. I mean, just everything. I was very impressed with how Judge Doom did playing that role in that character.
We had a fun moment there because someone was dressed as the White Rabbit from Alice, and so it's confusing the rabbit, and so I like that. So
that was good.
He was like, not the right one.
Yeah, because he was asking, he's like, have you seen the rabbit? And then somebody just happened to walk up dressed as the White Rabbit, and they're like, yeah, right there. And he's like, wrong rabbit.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the back and forth with one of the guests about, like, because he was going on about, there's going to be this highway with all these things, like he does in the movie. And somebody's like, but what about traffic? It's like LA. And they're like, well, there won't be any traffic because of all this. And I was like, this is really good. He was able to, the thing that I find amazing about these characters at Oogie Boogie Bash, but also just around the resort, is how much training and thought must go in to perform as these characters.
Yeah, and just
so when someone gives you a thing like that, you could just boom have an answer.
Heckler training has got to be like an actual class they go through.
Yeah. And you got to be quick too. Like you got to, because they can't teach you every thing somebody might say to you.
Yep. And that was a favorite part of what I would say was my second favorite villain. If Vern gets to yes and, then I get to as well, and that was Maleficent. which I feel like is underrated because she's kind of hidden away in a spot that you have to know to go to.
That's been a treat trail spot, I think, since the beginning. And it is a very, very awkward, strange spot because it doesn't have very much space.
No.
So Maleficent was there this time. In previous years, I want to say the Evil Queen was
Mother
back
Gothel
there
was
in the
there.
beginning, and Mother Gothel was back there more recently. And it's very, like, you have to have a very small little stage type thing that they, so it's a more intimate experience, we'll call it.
And I think that helped out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That waterfall, they lit that waterfall and the fog and everything back there was done really well. I think maybe what they need to do is along the trail there by Grizzly River Run, I think they just need to put like a sign or something that like it makes it more obvious that you could go this way to interact with her. Because they give you a map and they give you all the people on the map, but it's just one of those things where I feel like it'd be nice if they had a sign.
So before we wrap up and move on to our next experience that we all got to do, what did you guys think? So we talked about all the treat trails. We talked about Villains Grove, which I'd say is the other entertainment piece. What were your thoughts of the Frightfully Fun Parade? We can start with Vern this time.
It was good. I mean, it was a very fun
Speechless.
parade.
They were left speechless. Yeah. That's how much they liked it.
That was me logging through my memory files going, wait, we saw a lot of parades in very few days. That one was started with the Horsemen, yes. And no, that was, I mean, hands down, that part was just awesome.
Incredible.
That beautiful Percheron coming through and the character holding the pumpkin head and Ichabod running ahead before them looking all scared. And the choreography for all of the different dancers going through, all of the characters, being able to see more villains because, your typical parade, you don't see villains. So, I mean, genuinely a very fun, very cool parade, very well put on. I enjoyed it. But, I mean, especially that start to it with having the Horsemen chasing Ichabod Crane down the street. Very well done with just like getting that setting of the ambiance, that creating the mood and letting you know, okay, this is the parade that you signed up for. That was very well done.
I never thought I would ever see a headless horseman anywhere. So I thought that was so cool. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I love that it follows up then and people watching the parade applaud the custodial staff that are following.
Yes.
Like it just great energy coming through with that one that really builds it up. But I agree with Vern. It's really nice. Like having floats for like the Grim Grinning Ghosts and stuff. Like bringing the attractions out is really cool.
Yes.
And I found I'm a bit of a sucker for like the formal ballroom dance choreography when they do that. I really enjoyed whatever kind of steps they were doing with the ballroom kind of scene. It's like that feels like it worked really well in the parade setup, along with their costumes and everything. So overall, it just felt great.
So you must miss the electrical parade.
They're so in character too, because it's like they're really embracing the like being like the dead dancers, because like just in how they like move and have their head angled or like their however
and their makeup.
Yes, it's so good, and the looks, the like blank stares and all that. I don't know how they do that.
So Teresa took the question I was going to ask, which was the parade, which is good. I'm glad we got there. How did you feel about your candy haul at the end of the night?
I feel like Teresa has brought home more candy in the past. Or maybe I'm just remembering wrong.
You're
or maybe
not
I was eating
wrong,
too much.
Because
we also skipped two of the just like treat trails.
Yeah, well, and Tag and I in previous years went through trails multiple times because we had time to go through the trails multiple times. For whatever reason, we had time, but we chose not to go through trails multiple times for some reason. I don't remember what we did instead.
We chose attractions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You guys rode attractions. Yep, that's why. Yeah, so we just...
Monsters After Dark!
Yeah,
Monsters After Dark!
We didn't spend time with attractions. We just kept going through treat trails. And I will also say, Tag, you can mention what you felt too. It felt like they were giving out fewer pieces of candy per stop, which I'm not complaining about. But in previous years, every stop was like a handful. There's a video of us that Tag took of me going through Sid's trail. It was the first trail of the night. My same size bag that we had trick-or-treating with you guys, that was almost full from that first trail. So they have scaled back the volume a little bit.
They were very consistent. Three pieces of candy,
3 pieces
one bag
every time.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, and I could see like a few of them. I could see them like counting it off with their lips. Like 1, 2, 3, throw. 1, 2, 3, throw. So yeah,
which I totally understand. They need to control that.
They must have had orders this year. Like, okay, y'all, we went through way too much last year. You need to calm it down.
Yep.
The downside for me this year was one of the things I think people get kind of, I don't know, I think some people complain about, but I think is a good thing, is in previous years they've given out things like grapes and apples and applesauce. And I like those because, like, as you're walking around at the event, it's just nice to have something like refreshing instead of like, well, let me have another piece of candy.
Sure.
So to me, I just really kind of missed that this year because to me, it was something that like kind of kept me going and it was healthy.
Sure.
We did get lots of craisins, which I don't think counts.
Get a lot of craisins this year.
Okay, so genuine question here, and forgive me if I'm a little naive on this one. With the apples and stuff, those can fly on a plane? We'd be able to bring them back home?
I don't know. We always enjoyed those before we left.
Well, I would
because I know like fresh fruit and stuff absolutely cannot fly back home with us.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But I'm not sure
packaged.
with the sealed fruits.
Yeah, but
I don't know. We never
tested. They were cold, so I don't think they'd be as good if they had gotten warm.
Right.
So I think people either would leave them at their hotel, give them to someone else, eat them beforehand,
right,
or would just throw them out or whatever.
Yeah, we munched on them during the party, and then we'd bring the excess back to the hotel. Then we'd put them in the refrigerator and then munch on them throughout the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
And try and get through as most of what we could. But we didn't ever travel with.
We didn't get as much of the veggies the fruits and veggies. We didn't get as much of that as we did like the craisins this year. I felt like there was a lot of craisins this year.
Oh, I'm still eating craisins. I love them. But because I'm totally with you that yes, more fruits would be wonderful. And I mean, I ate a lot of candy that night, and I totally would have eaten a lot of fruit that night had I had fruit available to me. So I'm with you. Fruit would be nice, and I wish that there had been fruit, but I'm curious if maybe it was looked at from a logistical, it doesn't travel well, so let's not give it to people.
It's a lot of
traveling.
locals. I think I saw on social media that they did have fruit and veg, like the little carrot packs earlier in the season. I think they just ran out.
Oh,
because we were towards the end of
I was wondering if that was
true.
the case too.
We were towards the end of the party season, and typically Tag and I have gone more towards the beginning.
Sure.
So before we wrap up with Oogie Boogie Bash and move on to our next topic, any final thoughts from either of you from Oogie Boogie Bash? And bonus question, can you now rate the 3 After Dark events that you have attended?
Oh.
Yes. That was part of my final thoughts.
Oh, there you go.
I will buy Vern some time to think about this. As I think about the experience and everything, I'm glad that we skipped out on the treat-only trails and most of the photo ops because I feel like we were able to use our time better in a lot of senses. The only thing we didn't go and see was the Sanderson sister costumes, but we saw those from afar, and that felt like enough for me in that sense. But I'm glad they had them for more people who are looking for more of a candy haul, but I feel like we got plenty out of it. I liked you mentioning, Teresa, about how we didn't revisit any treat trails, and part of me is glad we didn't because then I just get my first magic experience and that's the memory that kind of lingers and then we didn't have to worry about going through it. But of all the treat trails, the only one that I wouldn't have been excited to go back through was Yokai for Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone else brought something interesting to the table. He's just kind of an unfortunate villain that's just fine. Like, it's got potential, but it just not quite there without the actual magic of nanobots, right? So if I could see a new villain, I'd love to see someone like Cloud Frollo come in from Hunchback.
Oh,
nice. That is a terrifying Halloween villain that is great and fits with a lot of my generation that's probably going to the parks for things like this and would enjoy that kind of atmosphere. So it would be a cool villain. Finally, before I rate things, last surprise that I really enjoyed was us just happening to stumble into the Kingdom Hearts photo op.
Oh, yeah.
Which was super cool. I love that game series. I think it's tons of fun, and seeing the characters in those costumes. I'm used to us only having a lot of these kind of costume experiences when we're on like the Disney cruise ship that we've done once. And so having something like that I hadn't seen before was super cool. And with the family in front of us, where the kid was dressed up like Sora, hair and all, just made it extra magical. So it was cool to be able to talk to Donald about casting magic, and Donald actually like doing his cast of magic like you would in the game. So I really enjoyed that one. In terms of ranking, my least favorite we've been to continues to be Star Wars Night. And I think that is a bit of unfair expectations and just poor time management on our part amongst Rain just coming down on things. I think, though, of the other two, I would probably still put Pride Night on top. And I say that as a different kind of atmosphere and experience of what I was getting the After Dark. Oogie Boogie succeeds in the immersion and living up to hype and giving you plenty of things to do to keep you busy, versus Pride Night that was just more of a feeling and experience. There might be a little bit of bias, as that would be an event targeted towards me. And so I get a spot in community and space that is really nice for me in that one. But this is probably not even a single full point 1-2 difference on a grading scale. I would gladly go back to either of those and sincerely enjoy them.
What are your thoughts, Vern?
So I'm gonna jump right with you on the Star Wars being the least of the three, and you allowed some blame to come to us and say that there was some poor timing on our part and some other things, and I'm just okay. I'll give that the weather was bad and that played against the whole experience. But then I'm just putting everything else on event management. It just was not a well put together event. The lines were atrocious. The character interactions were not very well done. It just wasn't well put on. For all three events, I will say that my high point in all after hours eventness, I really love the people watching and seeing all the people able to come in costumes and being able to express their creativity and show what they've got. And, you know, because normally you go to a Disney park and you're not allowed to do any sort of costuming or anything because it's against Disney rules. You can't even begin to look like any sort of character or anything. But you go to an after hours and those rules more or less go out the window. And you know, Star Wars Night, all of these people in these amazing Star Wars costumes that I was just like, oh my God, I'm glad I didn't try to slap anything together because I would feel like a fool compared to you. You look amazing. And then Pride Night, people just wearing all their rainbows and letting their colors fly and feeling free about themselves and just living their best lives. Absolutely amazing. And then some of the amazing costumes that we got to see of people breaking out their Halloween best. That was just so cool seeing Oogie Boogie and group costumes, individual costumes, little kids in great costumes, adults in phenomenal costumes. The people watching at these after hours events is just fire. But the event management at Star Wars Night really let me down, and it put such a bad taste in my mouth that I didn't want to go to Pride Night because that's what I thought after hours events were. So then when we got to Pride Night, I said, oh, okay, this is better. I can do this. This is better. This is what an after-hours event should be. And me being the one that loves the live music and the live performers and the live stuffs, Pride Night was amazing. There were all sorts of little live performances and shows and things going on, and it was great. And there weren't big lines for character meet and greets. There were just characters walking around and saying, oh, honey, you want a picture taken with me? Get on over here. And it's just such a free-flowing, awesome environment with all these different things all happening at once. And it was just a very cool, fun, enjoyable night that I'm putting it at my number one. I mean, Oogie Boogie Bash gave me a wonderful sugar high, and it had a great parade.
Really? Days later.
Yeah, it had a great parade. And it was incredibly well organized, and the treat trails were just a masterpiece in how to keep a flow of traffic going. And I mean, yes, absolutely no disrespect to Oogie Boogie Bash. It is a solid number 2. But from my personal experience of really enjoying the people watching and enjoying watching the live shows, and for how I enjoy being in the parks, and how for me the high point of being in the parks is seeing live performances and doing people watching, Pride Night was just the best by far.
If you and I didn't talk about how we park so differently from each other, I think people are going to think we're the same person.
Right.
I agree with you guys, though, that there is just a feeling with Pride Night that, like, it's hard to describe to somebody. I've tried to describe it before. It's like you kind of just got to go to one and experience it. It's very weird.
And the other thing, too, we only have the one evening that we went. So I'm curious, like, to go to another one to see, did we just get, like,
lucky,
all of the stars perfectly aligning?
So kind of like the opposite of Star Wars Night, where it felt like we got all the opposite of that.
Exactly. Like, was it just like everything was just, because it honestly was. We just happened upon entertainment accidentally during that night, and everything just kind of had a natural flow to it. And so did we just luck into that, or is that how it always is? I don't know, because we just have that one experience. Same with Star Wars Night, because we've talked to people about Star Wars Nights, our experience, people that have heard about our experience, they're like, what? No, like they had completely different and completely opposite experiences at Star Wars Night, where theirs were much more like go with the flow and natural feeling, and not as like stressful, I guess, and confusing and like as ours was.
Yeah. I will say, though, if they did the meet and greets at Star Wars Night like they do the treat trails at Oogie Boogie Bash, I think it'd be a much better experience just overall.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All of them should do that, quite honestly.
We had so much fun and so much to talk about with the producers about their experiences at the park that we will continue our conversation with them next week.
Woo! Welcome back to Trivia Land, Chef. My name Raymond, and I hope them answers are bigger and better than this here back porch I got attached to me. Don't you know, Evangeline and I wish y'all the best of luck.
Welcome back to Trivia Land, where we are going to find out the answers to tonight's questions. Tag and Teresa, how do you feel you did?
Ooh.
I don't know. Let's hear some right answers from you, Vern.
Yeah. You didn't hear it from us. No.
You should have written Splash or Tiana's more like I did.
I am going to say to you, you genuinely impressed me with two of your answers.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yes. So, let's find out which two those were, shall we? In the queue for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, we walk past her kitchen. Above her sink, there's a chalkboard with a reminder to whomever is reading it. What does she not want you to forget? Tag said, don't forget the special spice. And Teresa said, don't forget to dig a little deeper. The correct answer that I was looking for was, don't forget, celebration at my house tonight. Everybody's welcome. See you there.
Wrong. So wrong. We were so wrong.
Teresa did find a picture, and she's like, oh, it's long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes up the whole chalkboard.
Wow.
It was...
Tell us about the hot sauces.
Let's get on to the hot sauces. Question number 2. Next to Tiana's icebox, you can see 2 bottles of hot sauce, a staple in all of her cooking. What flavors are they? Tag said hot and hotter. Teresa said okra and hot chili. The correct answer that I was looking for was hot chili and roasted garlic.
Oh,
roasted garlic. I should have picked that one.
roasted okra would have been delicious.
Well, good job, Teresa. That's a half a point for you.
I don't know if that really counts.
And your third question tonight. A framed copy of the New Orleans Business Journal hangs on the wall in Tiana's kitchen. It's the issue that is the feature of her restaurant opening. In an article, she is quoted as saying, good food has the power to bring folks together, blank, blank, blank of blank. Teresa came up with the answer. The blanks are from all walks of life, and Tag agreed that sounds about right. The correct answer that I'm looking for, good food has the power to bring folks together from all walks of life.
Good job, Teresa.
Well done.
I hopped on your paddle boat for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the ones you were impressed by, Vern?
I was very impressed by that. Well done. And your fourth and final regular round question tonight. On the kitchen counter, there's a recipe card. What's Tiana cooking? Both of you immediately saying beignets. The correct answer that I was looking for was toaster strudels. I'm kidding. The correct answer was beignets.
I knew we were right, so the fact that you were going to say that, I was going to be like, no.
Come on, it was at least a little funny, right?
I mean, it was funny.
Okay,
but it was wrong.
And your bonus question tonight. Tiana's father taught her important lessons that she carried on into business and life, including the motto that she had emblazoned on the water tower that you travel past during the attraction. It reads, "Never lose sight of blank, blank, blank." Tag said, "Who you are," and Teresa said, "What you need." The correct answer I was looking for is what's really important.
Oh.
Never lose sight of what's really important.
Now that you say that, I do remember this on the water tower now.
But you did really well on 2 questions tonight.
Well, you know.
Proud of you.
That's something.
That is something. That's 2 somethings. Well, listeners, how did you do listening at home? How do you think Tag and Teresa did? Have you had a wonderful time on an attraction and you got some really good trivia questions that you'd like to hear on the air? Well, if you do, please feel free to send those in to us at dlweekly.net/trivia.
Well, we will be back next week with more Disneyland news and information.
Until then, go out and enjoy the parks.
A special thank you to Sidel for editing the podcast and Andy Mack for all the wonderful character transitions.
Please remain seated until the podcast comes to a complete stop and the doors have opened. Then collect your belongings, watch your head, and step carefully from the episode. On behalf of all of our crew, thanks for traveling with us, and we hope you have a happy and memorable visit here at DL Weekly.